Hello everyone, I'm CoolGuy, welcome back, and for our second review of the menagerie gear, today we have the 140 RPM kinetic handcannon, the Austringer. Keeping the theme going for this gear, this frame is based off of an old fan favorite Destiny 1 handcannon, the Eyasluna. There's a lot to talk about in this review, lots of perks, lots of barrels, magazine options. We're going to break down what the best rolls are and why, how perks affect range, what perks you should value over others, and so forth. PvE rolls, PvP rolls, and there are some perks that are very special like Eye of the Storm. Eye of the Storm is an elite level perk, and in this video we'll break down what it does and why you should have it. We'll also break down the feel of this weapon, what it does some very special things, and this one's going to be a very stat heavy video, so a warning beforehand. My hope is for a complete review today, show some things to you guys that can help, and I really hope that you enjoy it. The Austringer is the new 140 RPM handcannon obtained from the menagerie. To get it, at the top of the chalice, slot a green rune of desire, in the left node any red rune, and to take it a step further, in the right slot any green rune for a range masterwork. The Austringer is a stat monster in this 140 RPM class. Its base stats collectively are above average. It has a range of 51, stability of 63, handling of 52, reload of 51, aim assist of 75, and a recoil direction stat of 95. The Austringer has the best range out of all 140s, it has the best stability, it has the best reload, it's tied for the best handling. None of the stats are low, most are going to be the best. If not the best, they're the second best, and all are above average. If you've used it, it's probably the best feeling adaptive frame 140 in the game. Definitely for console players, because it does everything right. Even down to that recoil direction. The stability plus that recoil direction is perfect. In a wall test here with Ace of Spades, doing no recoil control, letting that recoil just fly and go, you see the difference. I get this question a lot on Twitter, and to get the look of Eyasluna, you need the ornament and the shader's Maroon Moon, and for a lighter version, you can put on Crimson Passion. But moving on, with this review, next to the barrel, I have some text to show how it affects the stats. We have 9 barrel options: Arrowhead Break, Chambered Compensator, Corkscrew Rifling, Extended Barrel, Fluted Barrel, Full Bore, Hammer Forged, Polygonal Rifling, and Small Bore. We'll bring up this graphic later on in the review. For the magazine, we have 8 options: Accurized Rounds, Drop Mag, Appended Mag, Tack Mag, Extended Mag, Steady Rounds, Alloy, and Flared Magwell. All of these magazines have a place. Accurized Rounds is a top priority, and so is Steady Rounds, depending on how you like the feel of your hand cannon. But for PvP, Accurized Rounds is the top priority. And a big mag perk like Extended Mag is going to be sought after, and after we go through the nodes, we'll talk about perk combinations. In that first node, we have Outlaw, top tier perk. Subsistence, it chews through your reserves. If you have other good perks to pair with it, I would vault it in case this perk gets a buff. We have Air Assault, snappy handling while in the air. We have Eye of the Storm, an elite perk. This weapon becomes more accurate and boosts handling as your health gets lower. Triple Tap, good perk. Snapshot, good perk. In the second perk node, we have Rangefinder, elite perk. Demolitionist, it's a great perk, instantly refills your mag when you throw your grenade, and as you're getting kills, it gives you grenade energy. Rampage, the only damage dealing perk for this hand cannon, is going to be a top option. We have Underdog, as your health gets low, you get a boost to reload. Zen Moment, it's a great perk. And then Opening Shot. Your first shot has improved accuracy and range, it's another top option. So here's going to be the bulk of the review. Range on hand cannons is very important, especially on console. The more range you have, the better your shots register, the better overall feel of the hand cannon. It's a night and day experience if you throw on this Austringer and then throw on a 10 paces. Especially on console, the Austringer is in a very special situation because it has the best range in the archetype. Its base range is so high that it actually flirts with some high impacts. Those 110s like Home of the Lost, its base range is at 57. And again, Austringer is at 51. And that's going to be paired with the best stability in class. Now, the stability is best actually out of all hand cannons outside of the precision frames. And it actually surpasses some of those stat-wise like Service Revolver. And sure, different archetypes, it's kind of comparing apples to oranges, but the stability is very, very good. The problem now is finding the right perk combinations, and what really matters, let's bring up those barrel stats again. A lot of players go for the big 3 for range. We have Full Bore, Accurized Rounds, Range Masterwork. This gets you to a massive 83 range on the stat bar. So all of it collectively, you get plus 25 to range, but you have negative 10 to stability and negative 5 to handling. So with it maxed out, this combination in PvP results in a fall-off distance of 32.5 meters. That's the max distance you do 70 to the head, which is its max damage. But next, let's look at this one. It has a 69 range stat, so 14 less than a max range one on the stat bar. This one has Hammer Forged Rifling, and this is my main Austringer at the moment. It has Hammer Forged Rifling, Tactical Mag, a Range Masterwork, and we also have Rangefinder. So we're only adding plus 10 to range because of Hammer Forged. The effective range for this one is 34 meters, so it doesn't even have Accurized Rounds. The stat bar is 14 less than 83. That's just how important Rangefinder is. And remember, with Rangefinder, it gives you a little zoom and extends the effective range. So far we have a max range 83 stat with no rangefinder at 32.5 meters. We have Hammer Forged, a Range Masterwork with rangefinder that's 34 meters. If you were to have full bore, accurized, range masterwork, rangefinder, that's going to be 36 meters of effective range. A friend of mine has this when we tested it out, and I would think that if you subbed out full bore for hammer forged with the same setup, the fall off should be around 35.5 meters. So they're very close together. In game, this is a couple steps. All of these are between each other in a couple of steps, not far at all. But the more range you have, the better accuracy, aim assist, overall the better feel of the weapon. So let's start getting into our perk combinations. Most of the time, because of the base stats, the hand cannon is going to perform very well for you, even something like triple tap Zen moment. But with these combinations that we're getting ready to talk about, it's going to be about optimization. Your top overall role for PvP is going to be hammer forged rifling or full bore, accurized rounds, range masterwork, Eye of the Storm, and rangefinder. And again, the difference with subbing out the barrels, full bore with accurized is plus 25 to range and negative 10 stability, negative 5 handling. With hammer forged, accurized, it's going to be plus 20 to range. A lot of negatives for full bore to get only plus 5 range. And again, in game, that isn't that much. And with hammer forged, you keep one of those strengths up. Its stability stat of 63 is very high. And even if you neg 10'd it with full bore, the stability of 53 puts it at an average point and even still better than some of the other base 140s. But now let's move on to Eye of the Storm, and I could probably make a separate video on this alone. The perk states you become more accurate and it boosts handling as your health gets lower. For one, it does open up the hitbox a little bit, not by much, but it does a little bit. The main thing though is that it has 2 levels to it. And to look at this, you go what I like to call under the hood in Hipfire. Pay attention to the Hipfire Reticle. As we talked about in the 140, 150 hand cannon shooting tip video, as you shoot, the X on the reticle blooms out. This is bloom in action. The X going outside the circle. Eye of the Storm is going to proc when you're at about 50% health, or half health. When it procs, the X tightens up, you see it draw in. And like the perk states, this makes you more accurate. But it doesn't stop there, it procs again a second time when you're at about 20-25% health less. It tightens up even more. If someone hits you with a really heavy shot and gets you down to like 10 health, it goes straight to this point. So with what this perk does when you're in Eye of the Storm, it literally reduces bloom. And at that second stage, it almost makes it non-existent. That's what this perk does, it literally eliminates bloom by over 50%. Very elite perk, especially on a hand cannon. And for you PvP players, you need to realize for Austringer, it doesn't revolve around pure damage lethality. It's not like, let's say, a Rampage kill clip kindled Orchid or a Memento Mori Ace of Spades. This hand cannon is about pure consistency, and what sets this role apart, this hand cannon apart, is its extremely high range and stability paired with Eye of the Storm rangefinder. And what you need to think about and why this is the top overall role, things like Outlaw are nice, but it could be supplemented with hand cannon loaders, especially enhanced hand cannon loaders. You could somewhat replicate what that does, so it isn't 110% needed. Something like Snapshot's gonna be nice, but again, you can get perks on your armor, and Eye of the Storm gives you Snapshot when you hit 50% health. And then there's the big picture, why it's so important and why this is the elite combination. When you're in a 1v1 duel, this is happening every single time you get in a gunfight. Every time that you're trading shots, you hit them, they hit you, your health's getting lower. And during that gunfight, when you're trading, your shot becomes more accurate. The bloom really decreases and your accuracy goes up, just like the perk states. So this is extremely good for console players. It's a must-have perk. If you're going for a role, the menagerie allows you to grind over and over for a role, this is what you guys want. And I don't make that statement much, that this is the top overall, but it really is elite. And for you PC players, you're still gonna feel the effects of it. It's a pure dueling weapon. You against your opponent, Eye of the Storm stays there until your health regens above 50%. So again, you have the best range in class, great aim assist, recoil direction, stability. This is going to be the role that you want. It has exotic type stats when you spec it out. A very clean feeling hand cannon, and later in the review we'll talk about that feel. In PvP it does 70 to the head and 47 to the body. You need 3 headshots for a 0.87 time to kill. It has a 1.73 body time to kill. It's actually really slow on the low end. Another top role is going to be Eye of the Storm opening shot. Opening shot can get you to almost 38 meters with your first shot only as far as drop off, and then after that it goes down significantly. This is of course if you have some of the highest range possible, but this is what you want to pair with a bow or a sniper, like all you Monarch users. Or you can pair it with Beloved. The opening shot's there to reach out for a cleanup, and if you trade, let's say, sniper shots and you poke back out, you have Eye of the Storm and opening shot working together. It's a very good role. Now we've talked about range a lot and rangefinder specifically for the second node, but you can put together Outlaw Rampage for a great hand cannon, and this is actually the PvE role that I recommend. Mine has full bore extended mag Outlaw Rampage with a range masterwork. I do have on a Rampage spec for my PvE role. So with something like this, it's going to change your mag slot. For PvE, we're exchanging accurized rounds for an extended mag, or any mag option. This gets the magazine to 14, and 14 is going to be the max. Once you're here, a backup mag will even take it further. So we have 14 round, Outlaw Rampage, great range and stability for PvE. It's gonna be a great feeling hand cannon there. Now this roll can also work in PvP, and if you do proc Rampage, your second target's gonna be 2 headshots, 1 body shot. And since Rampage is the only damage dealing perk on this hand cannon, this is gonna be your PvE roll. High magazine, fast reloads, and damage output. It's gonna have that midnight coup type feel to it. But let's go over the overall feel of this hand cannon. The bullet magnetism is very, very forgiving. The crosshair has a dot in the center and 2 outer circles. Those outer circles count as a headshot. Same goes for aiming lower on the body. Those are gonna count as headshots. So in a gunfight, especially if you have Eye of the Storm, this hand cannon has a lot of forgiveness. Coupled with its stability, recoil direction, it's a monster. And just like the Beloved in the last review, I don't have a bad thing to say about the Austringer. It excels as a 140 RPM adaptive frame. Because I am a hand cannon user. I have about 25,000 kills currently in Destiny 2 Crucible just with hand cannons, and 90% of those kills are going to be with 140s and 150s. The spare rations got really close to a Destiny 1 feel with its stability and range, but this 140 Austringer tops it. One of the best feeling, if not the best feeling 140s and 150s in the game. Very strong, and again, it's a pure dual weapon. High range, rangefinder, Eye of the Storm is the top role for higher level PvP play. It has everything you want for a duel. Now that's going to be subjective, but going through all these perks and trying them out, getting different feels for the hand cannon, that's going to be it, no doubt about it. I'm confident in that. What's nice about the menagerie is you can keep grinding for that role in any and all roles. I'd masterworked mine, but the next step is accurized rounds to get that range up just a tad bit more, to add 10 range to the stat. This is a hand cannon user's dream, and it's so good stat-wise that if you've been shying away from 140s and 150s, specifically on console, or you don't like hand cannons, or new to them, this is a great starter one and a good one to practice with. It also happens to be one of the best in the entire game. If precision hand cannons are your thing, they're much easier to use than you do you. But the main one that we talked about today combats all the things that are bad about a 140 or 150. It's amazing. Now as far as mods, Icarus is good, target adjuster, if you get Rampage, then a Rampage spec, things like that. So if you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to see videos when they go live, and remember to like and comment if you guys see fit. With Destiny, everyone has their own versions of what the best is. No one's really 100% wrong. And with this review, I wanted to show how the range worked, what to look for, and why the Austringer stands as one of the top hand cannons. And I'm confident in telling you the best feeling one is the one that we talked about for higher level play. Rangefinder Eye of the Storm with range perks. It has everything you want for a pure duel. But what roles do you guys have, and why are those your favorite? How does this compare to other hand cannons in your inventory? I'd like to thank you guys for watching, spending a little bit of your day with me, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.